Wow. Can I go back really quick? Maybe I'm gonna... Wow, I did not know that they had an actual... Sorry. That is so cool. So I've been asked, and this is something that I'm not surprised I've been asked about, and because I'm very much into the paranormal content. Everybody knows that. I love doing paranormal content. I'm actually starting to more recently get into the true crime stuff. And people want to know, do I believe that Celeste or Cece and Bella and Shanann are at peace? Do I believe all of them are at peace? And I think Nico was the other one, right? Nico. It's very hard for me to say. Personally, I want to truly believe they are at peace. I want to believe that they are in heaven. I would much prefer that answer than the concept of them not being at peace. They're not at rest. There's a lot of people out there who want to believe that they are not at rest, and even some would prefer that Chris was haunted by them for the rest of his days. Even if they weren't there, I'm sure mentally the guy is facing a lot of trauma, and I mean a lot of regret and a lot of anguish and a lot of fear in prison. Rightfully so, too, obviously. Everything that he has going on with him, he definitely deserves. I truly don't care what happens to that man in prison. I honestly haven't even been paying attention to what has happened to him in prison because I just don't care. He could be literally brutally beaten tomorrow by a bunch of prisoners, and I probably would not lose any sleep over it. I know I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. But when you ask me this question, do I believe that they are at rest? Personally, I would like to believe so. I have no reason to truly believe they are still around. The activity in the house could be residual energy. Maybe because they had such good times there that maybe that energy is still sitting around the house. But there is some footage that we are going to be checking out that could tell me otherwise. So we're going to go ahead and watch this said footage, and I'll give you guys my thoughts, of course, during and after the video. But let's just hope they are at peace. She stated that Christopher is acting weird and out of the ordinary. She said that Christopher is telling people he has to go to work, and that just doesn't seem right. She felt that he is going out to pour oil on the bodies to dispose of them. To dispose of them somewhere. Frederick Police Department supplemental report. We are born with six senses, not five. The sixth sense, the one most of us don't know, they apply to everyday life and our intuition, inner voice, or psychic awareness. James Van Pra. Shanann's mother, Sandy, feels that her and hears the spirits of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste from the moment of her daughter's death. I didn't know that. Wow. Can I go back really quick? Maybe I'm gonna... Wow, I did not know that they had an actual... Sorry. That is so cool. When did I miss this? It says Dr. Phil. I must have missed it. Because I watched that Dr. Phil thing. Unless this is a different episode. I never saw this. This monument put up in their honor. This bench. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico Lee. They all got one. All their names are on it. Beloved daughters, sister, mother. I love that, man. That's beautiful. I had no idea they had one of those. When you really love someone, you develop a sixth sense for them. You can feel everything they do, like when they're in distress, they're happy, they're, you know, it's weird. That is very true. I know exactly when people I care about are distressed, when they have something going on. I can sense it. It's very true. Frankie talks about him and his father, Frank Sr., seeing that he describes a possible sign from Shanann in a full person form, as well as a random homeless person he has never seen before, giving them a stay strong message the day of sentencing.
The day we got here, we dropped off our stuff. We went downstairs and got off the elevator, and boom, there's a girl standing there, identical to my sister. I've never seen anybody ever look like my sister. I have a picture. I took a picture of her. Yeah, I mean, my dad, I look over and every goosebump in his body was standing up. His hair was sticking up this high. And I mean, I wanted to like run up to her and be like, "Are you fucking with us? You know, are you playing? Yeah. Is this fake?"
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah. And then like we went to the gas station to get some lighters, and this little homeless guy just walked around, and he was like, "Stay strong." I was like, wow, you know, I don't know. I believe in things like that. Yeah. You know, I mean, she had the same outfit, same hair, stopped the hair, jet black. I mean, same type shirt, same spandex pants. Really? Flip flops. I mean, it was her. It was.
You get the sign.
I know. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it's like my dad said, you know, she's telling us she's here with us, you know.
Yeah.
But I already knew that. But you know, it was like a, you know, like I felt better. I was real sad at the moment, but I felt better. Like when we left, I was like, you know, okay.
Wow. So that was her brother. That was Shanann's brother. And that's so cool that, you know, even if it was a homeless man, I mean, even if he knew who he was just by the news or something, maybe, you know, who knows, right? Maybe this is a homeless man. I don't know. It's crazy that this homeless man went out of his way to say, stay strong. Some of the greatest videos I've ever seen aren't necessarily people giving those less fortunate money. But the weird thing is seeing these people who are less fortunate spend what they have on people just because they're having a bad day. I say the world is scary all the time, but man, sometimes in this world we live in, some crazy things happen. And those moments from like that homeless person who just said, you know, stay strong. It's like moments like that give you hope in humanity. It's moments like that that really just lift your spirits. The last child that played with Bella and Celeste, they attended this little boy's birthday party just hours before their father murdered them. This little boy made this out of the blue statement while his parents were being interviewed on August 14th, the day after the murders, while they were still considered missing.
This is all just really weird.
It's too real. It's too weird.
I just picture them sitting in a hole.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's weird.
I got full body chills right now. How old was this kid? Holy shit. Fact, children can see things that adults can't, which means a high percentage of children have most likely come in contact with a ghost. When I was a kid, I certainly did. Huh. Wow. Nicole Atkinson, Shanann's best friend and the last person to see Shanann alive, as well as the one alert law enforcement of the friends missing. Nicole inside the Watts house only after hours, dropping Shanann off at her home after returning from their weekend business trip. Nicole looks and she is being shocked when touching Shanann's phone. Oh, I remember this.
Her phone's here.
Because your deceased loved one is now pure energy, they have the ability to manipulate electricity in any form. For an instance, they might flicker the light below and the light bulbs and mess with the radio TV. These are all indications of the elder presence. Shanann's person missed kitchen counter decor. August 13, when Chris's letter, Officer Coonrod and others inside the home. The kitchen counter is viewable, the officer's body cam, and there's nothing in the kitchen counter. I think I remember this one too. Did I just see that right? Wait. Then after everyone leaves and walks to the next door, Nate's views his home security video footage when they all return. Shanann's purse as well as a vase with flowers and red cooler is now on the kitchen counter. From the discovery documents on the August 14th interview, Nicole Atkinson, Q, CBI agent. Okay, I mean, this whole time I'm thinking to be cordial to Chris as possible, but sure, I don't know. Yeah, I think you said several times that your mind went to a bad place or something to that effect because her purse. What? Well, none of we found her purse. So then after we saw the videos, we go back in the house and I find her purse inside the door in her office, and I had already went in her office several times. I just saw it was like tucked right there by the door. I just walked past it. Was it behind the door? Sprouted. A yellow flower in a vase, red in a jar, pickles. Some of the editing here is kind of hard to understand. I wish you kind of just pushed it back a little bit so we could read it better. I'm not even looking at him. I don't even want to look at him. She knew. Her medication's still in here. You put your set of keys of your cell phone down in the place you always put it. You turn around a minute later and it's gone. You and your family search high and low for it, but it cannot be found. Later, sometimes days later or longer, the object mysteriously reappears to the very place you always put it. Or more bizarrely, you later find it in a ridiculous place. Like high on a bookshelf in a shoebox in the closet or some other spot where you never put it in a million years. This is known as the disappearing object phenomenon. We've actually had that happen. My grandma actually told us a story that she actually used to have a box. At one point, she had a box of donuts that was sitting on the table, like the dining room table, and it was never leaving. It never left that spot, and the box eventually disappeared. And days later, the box came back in that same exact spot, and all the donuts are still inside of it, so no one even ate one. So she knew it wasn't somebody in the house just sneaking them away and eating them. No, it came back like days later, but they couldn't find them no matter where they looked. Yep. Was Shanann trying to communicate to the officer, Conrad, while everyone was viewing Nate's home security video? What are the chances this very commercial would air on the very second of the video? Yeah, this whole, American Horror Story.
My detective just showed up, so he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there is any sort of action out there,
on his camera,
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week.
Diesel.
You're good.
But yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
That was weird how it played like that, yeah, right in the middle. American Horror Story. But I don't think it had anything to do with it.
There wasn't nothing. It was like all the little blankies above it. And then her lawyer was on the nightstand. Her phone was still there.
Yeah, the commercial airing to the exact moment coincidence. If you have ever seen the commercial fully, it's very telling. The fetus still covered in oil, full shallow grave, and the oil explosion. Wicked star, fetus umbilical cord attached to the cloud of dirt. Yeah, I've seen that commercial. Here's the entire commercial. In case you have never fully seen it, it is from the series American Horror Story. It's supposed to represent Nico, yeah. Yeah, it's very bizarre. I mean, you could view that as a sign, honestly. Clues from beyond the grave when victims help solve their own murders. August 14, 2018, Chris had an interview with news media. He chooses some odd words to use when describing how it felt in his home the night before. Needless to say, he would not stay in his home the night of August 14th. He stayed the night with his friends, the Thatchers.
And it's just like, it's like, it's vanished. Like, she's not, like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. And it's just earth shattering. I don't feel like this is even real right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from. Last night was traumatic. Last night was, I can't really stay in this house again, like, with nobody here.
Who are you gonna stay with tonight?
Probably my friends Nick and Amanda.
He literally acts and sounds scared of being in his home alone anymore. What happened last night that scared him enough to refuse to stay there alone? Referring to his home of the ghost town, it's very odd in my opinion. His eyes look strange to me, almost like he doesn't even have a pupil. Well, I mean, he just committed the murders, didn't he? How was it a day after he committed the murders? I figured he was all like just freaked out because he committed the murders. Maybe I'm reading into that wrong. Maybe I just don't know. Maybe I need to like really figure that out. Unfinished business. There's really no convenient time to die. Therefore, a spirit may stay behind in the past with unfulfilled goals and needs to stay with loved one. A spirit will forever stay in our realm while the business is unfinished. These spirits may try to communicate with you, and the paranormal activity may increase if it is unheard confusion. The spirits typically does not realize they are dead, especially if they are experienced a quick and tragic death. Once the spirit realizes they are dead, they typically move on, saying goodbye. This is a quick and most common occurrence when the spirit attempts to say goodbye to loved ones. This activity typically happens while the receiver is asleep, but can also occur during full consciousness. Some discredit this phenomenon as a dream. However, most occurrences happen when the receiver did not know this visitor spirit has died. Several odd occurrences happened during the home search with the dogs. Possibilities including sightings, light comes on by itself, EVPs, and the first dog was obviously very frustrated and even jumped upon the furniture if it's trying to play or being pet by someone. As the dog handler enters the home, be watching very closely to the left at the top of the stairs. There appears to be a transparent little girl walking down the stairs. It is very fast and handler walks by with officer body cam catches just a glimpse. Yeah, I think I remember this. Yeah, I think it was just the effects of the stairs, the sides of the stairs. I don't think it was actually somebody walking down the stairs. The light comes on by itself when the dog handler enters Shanann's office area. Then a child-like giggle is heard by both handler and the officer, which obviously scared the handler. The officer assumes the light is motion activated, and the child-like giggle has never been understood, as there is nothing found that would have made the giggling sound.
Yes. Something. There was a. I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
I don't know. That's bizarre. It was bizarre when first time I heard it too.
I heard it. I definitely heard the same thing you did.
Yeah, and then he just sort of...
As a handler, an officer heard of the head up the stairs. If you listen very closely, after 3 to 4 months, here possible assumed a possible picked up on the officer's camera. The whisper sounds like it's saying it wasn't Chris. Really?
Okay. 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 Okay.
Wow. When handed laundry room just before the officers point out where entry is upon investigating, I'm with CC as you. Oh, I remember that one. Yep, I'm with CC.
Definitely scent coming out of there.
Yeah. So there's your attic access right there.
Yep, I heard it. I'm with
So
CC.
there's your attic access.
And it sounds like an older woman, too.
Here's a pair of her shorts. I don't know if they've been touched or moved.
This is our home. September 21st, 2018, Nate's video recorded a dark-haired woman walking in the Watts home, but she's never seen leaving. Law enforcement were called. A report was made after a search of property. Law enforcement took custody of the video. Unidentified woman seen at the home of Shanann and Chris Watts over a month after the murders. Police respond to a report of suspicious activity.
Over a month after Shanann Watts and her 2 young daughters were murdered, police responded to a report of suspicious activity at their Frederick, Colorado home, where a neighbor saw a woman approach the house via video surveillance but never saw her leave. The discovery documents released by the Weld County District Attorney's Office and shared by the Denver Post include a police report of an incident on September the 21st in which a woman believed to be Shanann Watts' mother called police to report she had received a text message from an unknown number advising her that a back door at her deceased daughter's home was open. 2 Frederick police dispatched to the home and saw that a screen covering a back door was slid open, but the door behind it was closed. The report states that the officers observed the home from multiple angles and did not see any sign of any indication that a person had entered the house. The report notes that upon leaving the home, an officer observed that a garage light was on, and it had not been on when the officers arrived. The officers left the home but were called back later that same evening. The report states that dispatch contacted one of the responding officers again after Shanann's father had called the police after being contacted by a neighbor who said the garage lights were still on and they had not been in the past. Frederick police returned to the home and spoke to the neighbor, Nate, who reiterated concerns about the garage lights and also shared video with police that was taken on his home surveillance system. From the report, This is what the report stated. He was able to show me video from his Xfinity home security on his phone. He showed me that a female walked up to the house at around 900 hours and was seen walking up to the front door. There is no video of the female leaving the area, and shortly after there is a black SUV that is seen passing the house slowly. Nate was able to show me 3 different videos showing the black SUV going slow by the house shortly after the female was seen walking to the front door. I did not see anyone leave the vehicle and approach the house, and did not see anyone come from the house and get into the vehicle. Shanann's father reportedly gave the officers a security code to the home and asked them to go inside and check for any signs of activity. The officers searched the home and did not see any signs that a person was there or had been there. The officer who wrote the report noted that a garage alarm went off when he pushed on the garage. He notified Shanann's father of this, and her father said that he did not believe the alarm had been set when he last visited the home. The officer said in the report that the neighbor had been advised to contact police if he saw any further activity at or near the home.
You know, I find it interesting that the alarms didn't go off. So if there was a physical person who went into the house, they probably knew how to disarm the security alarm, right? If that was even possible, if there was ever a way to disarm it. I'm kind of wondering where that footage is of that woman going towards the house. I would love to see that footage. I'm not sure if it's out there or not. I'm not sure if it was ever released, but if it was, I would love to watch it. Body cam footage, clips of the house search from the calls of a dark-haired woman being seen on camera entering but never leaving the Watts home on September 21st. It is very obvious the officers are very nervous and freaked out about the call and seeing the girl on camera themselves, yet cannot find anyone at all. No signs of anyone ever being there.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house? Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house, make yourself known. Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house?
Who'd you say you were?
I got you on.
Slow and steady, guys.
Okay. Coming up.
All right. Connecting door. Closet, I'm coming behind it.
I actually did a reaction to this full video of the entire walkthrough.
Let's clear the garage. Cookie, where we at? We'll come out to the garage. Frederick Police Department, anybody in the garage? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known.
Is it sealed off from the top on that side? Yeah. Never mind.
Now, garage lights are off. Cookie coming back towards you. Copy.
Looking up.
Okay, I'll pull the door once you guys are ready.
You want to make that announcement? Okay, go ahead.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the basement? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known!
Out of curiosity, do you think it's possible that someone could still be in that house, hiding? I don't know if they searched every crevice of every inch of this house. Do you think somebody could be, let's say, in a closet hidden behind, like, blankets or something like that? Do you think they would have ever searched there? Out of curiosity, I want to know what you guys think, if that's very possible.
Frederick Police Department, anybody down here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he sees like a shadow or something, and he goes over there because he gets a little bit, he gets a little bit anxious and points his gun over in that direction because he thought he saw somebody.
Check the top, see if there's a access
There's Frederick Police Department, anybody upstairs? Frederick Police Department, anybody upstairs? Make yourself known! You guys want to come with me? I'll grab the gate.
I'll hold down here.
No, this is, I think, when the moment when he sees the shadow when they go upstairs. I think.
What's that?
Draw the lights.
Good. Will we get the garage lights off? Will we get the garage lights off? Okay. The lights gonna get dark.
Miss Rusek got a text from an unknown number saying that it looked like the back door of her daughter's home was open. Well, her being in North Carolina and not knowing who the text came from, she called the police department to go check it out. And when they got there, they didn't see, the back screen door looked like it was open, but the main door was closed. And
My thing is, why haven't we seen the footage of the person walking to the house? Are they trying to keep that away from the public's eye? I'm curious. I'm curious because doesn't Nicole Kessinger have dark hair? I'm not saying it was her, but like, there's already suspicions that because her dad apparently is pretty, I guess, high in law enforcement, apparently is what people have been telling me. Could it be that all that crazy to think that maybe if Nicole Kessinger was caught on camera, that all of a sudden they decided, you know, hey, we need to go ahead and hide this evidence so that the guy's daughter doesn't get arrested? I don't know. I can't make assumptions, of course. I don't know. I haven't seen the footage. But, I mean, if I saw the footage and it looked like her, I'd be saying it with more confidence. But I just only can assume at this point because I haven't seen the footage, which is a bummer.
they went around the whole perimeter of the home and they seen nothing. Nothing looked out of place. Nothing looked odd. So they started to leave, and when they started to leave, they noticed the garage light on, and it had not been on when they got there. They left, and then they were called to come back because Frank Rusick called them, Shanann's father, and said Nate had let him know that he has on video a dark-haired woman walking into the house but not leaving the house. So he calls them to go back out there, and as you can tell from the few clips of the video of the home search that night, I showed you that the police were taking this call very seriously. They were very serious. They sent multiple officers to go through the house because they saw the woman on Nate's video as well. They saw her on the video going in the house. So they knew it wasn't a prank call or anything like that. They saw it. So they went in the house fully expecting to find someone in there because they saw him walk in on the video. They found nobody. And as you can tell, and this is just little clips, you know, of the home search that night. I will put the entire recording in a different video. But this is clips of it. But you can tell just from these clips, and it's so creepy watching the whole thing because the house just seems so cold, and you can almost feel the coldness and the uncomfortable feeling inside the house just watching them walk through it. I can. It's just so creepy. I don't know why, but it's just so cold and creepy. I don't know. It gives you a eerie feeling just watching them walk through the house at night. But as you can tell, they took this call very seriously after seeing the woman themselves walk into that home. Tell me what you think.
Coincidence or not, the officers obviously took the search very seriously because they had just seen the woman entering the home via NASA security. Yet there was no one inside the home nor any signs that anyone had been there.
This is one I almost didn't put in because I was kind of uncertain about it, but it's extremely interesting in my opinion, and it is straight from the discovery documents. This is a medium that called in with some tips she had visions of. She wished to remain anonymous. She said she did know Shanann. She had been friends with her on a lupus support group on Facebook only for the last 10 years probably, but that's the only place she knew her. But then I guess when she heard of her mentioned, she had an intuition and had visions, and her visions were that she seen a dispute between 2 and 5 a.m. and it was immediately upon Shanann's arrival. She saw a strangulation situation, like an affair. So I would assume, I know that would be Chris. And she said there was no intent to harm, so maybe Chris didn't want to harm, but her being jealous, I don't know. This is intuitions. She said she feels like that he strangled Shanann, and then he suffocated the girls afterwards. She feels like they're in a bag or underwater, and she feels like they were moved in a truck. She said there was no bloodshed. She says they were driven to deep wooded section not far from their home. Said it's difficult to find. It's a deep wooded section.
I was about to say, did she just skip the part where it says lake near woods, deep wooded?
Near a lake.
Okay, there it is.
I think that's what this says.
Yep.
Issues at home were related to money. Too much time spent working with Thrive. It didn't sit well with Chris. The vision she had was the girls were wrapped in blankets after they were suffocated, and they were not far from home.
A psychic detective is a person who investigates crimes by using purported paranormal psychic abilities. Examples haven't included post-cognition, the paranormal perception of the past, psychometry, information physically. Fuck. This changed all of us a year after Watts' murder shook Colorado. Investigators on the case continue grappling with trauma. Dave Baumhover, led detective at Frederick Police. Christopher Watts' case stands outside his home at Frederick of July 25th, 2019. He has been on leave from the department since the spring when he was diagnosed with acute PTSD stemming from the Watts case. Every bit of family have been reshaped by PTSD. Lori said, "Where do you go where you don't see little girls?" She asked. It's dangerous to watch television, go online if they go out. Lori directs her husband where he shouldn't look so he can avoid seeing kids that might trigger him. Don't look down that aisle. There's a family, she'll say. Don't look right. Don't look up. I feel like if I don't catch a little girl, like if I miss... Oh, God. Sorry, not meaning to be a douchebag, but some of the editing here is really... Don't look up. I feel like if I don't catch a little girl, like if I miss one, that I failed him. She said, her voice cracking. It's easier to just go anywhere, he said. Chris Watts says his daughter visits him in prison, claims to have had phone conversations with his slain wife. Watts was convicted of brutal murders of 2 daughters, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste. I had a dream. Cece was dancing next to the chair in my cell. When she was dancing, all of my folders in the chair started moving. Then I woke up. I'm hoping she comes back. I hope everyone comes to visit me. The 34-year-old told the author. I don't know why they would. You fucking piece of shit. I hate hearing. I don't. Anything to do that with this man that has to come with being happy in his own cell, I don't want to hear it. I really don't care. I truly don't care. Watch reported Cattle felt darkness looming over him in the weeks that led up to the murder of his entire family, and that he was put under a spell by his mistress, Nicole Kessinger, who apparently wanted to mother his first son. Christopher told me that he had never thought of demonic things before, but he felt there was demon possession. He also talked about how he felt God give him 3 chances to pull away from Nicole, but he did not listen to any of those voices. He did not listen to any of those voices. He also talks to the length of his letters about the visit he gets from his daughters in a jail cell. Cattle revealed. Nah, I got no sympathy for you. You're a grown-ass fucking man. You could have made your own choice. I think it's a cop-out kind of thing he's doing right now. I'm not saying Nicole Kessinger's innocent. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But I do think he's shifting blame over to her now because he doesn't like the fact that everybody hates him. And he would rather try to blame someone else now, like Nicole Kessinger, for what he decided he chose. He chose her over the family. That's the simple, blunt answer. He chose Nicole Kessinger over his current family. And he took it out on his family and killed them because the fucking dude's a psychopath. Do I believe that Nicole Kessinger had any satanic or any ritualistic effect on Chris? I don't know. It's all speculation, of course. There's theories out there, but I don't know. I truly don't personally believe it at the moment. I just believe this guy was... I wouldn't be surprised if she had any influence on the fact that, you know, he wanted to murder his family. He wanted a fresh start. He looked at Nicole as a way to get out of his current situation, and he chose that this was the easiest option if he could get away with it, and he clearly didn't get away with it. So fuck him. Very hard to watch. Again, one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of these videos on my channel is because it really emotionally affects me. This man pisses me off beyond belief. I can't even stand looking at his face. I can see it on screen right now, and I'm already just done. I don't believe Nicole Kessinger is innocent. I do believe she had something to do with this murder. Whether she did mentally or physically, I don't know. That's up for debate right now. But she definitely feels like she had some sort of big influence on it. So now obviously the prime suspect is obviously in prison. He's rotting there, as he should. Chris Watts is in prison. He is definitely rotting there. So that guy's out of the way. But if there's any sort of truth behind Nicole Kessinger being involved, I wish it would come to the light, and I wish he would answer for it. So let me know down below what you guys think. Comment your opinions. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you like this type of content, be sure to always continue to support this type of content. The best way to do that is go down below, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the verge of 30,000, and it means a lot, guys, that you would hear me out. And I will try to post more content as soon as possible. So until next time, take care.